protecting family farms and ranches for over 130 years. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska understands the hard work and dedication of Midwest agriculture. Experience customized coverage backed by personalized service and unmatched financial strength. Keeping your insurance local just makes sense. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a free no-obligation quote. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Bro. You gotta try to fit 6. Oh, bro. I'm about to do it. Ready? I'm gonna do it. 6 down. I'm gonna do it.
You hit about 6, 7 free throws in the third.
Nah.
The professional drink the water.
It's not that. Yo, we're not sponsored by
This is the Farmers Mutual of Nebraska post-game press conference for Class C1. We have champion Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays, 23-5. This is their 3rd championship in 4 years. With us today, Coach Jacob Mose, number 0, Cal Kissinger, number 11, Cooper Westerholt, and number 23, Derek Tonjes. Coach Mose, you've been up here before. If you'd start with some general thoughts about the game.
Boy, these guys have grown a lot this year. I don't know that any of us envisioned this maybe at the start and even midway through, but something clicked, and they started to learn and, really turn it on in early February. And so I think that's what got us to this point. And once they got here to the state tournament, their confidence and the things they had learned throughout those rough stretches, for whatever, just blossomed. And we told them at the beginning of the year they kind of, that this group had the biggest room to grow this year because of kind of some new faces and kind of a youthful team and various things like that. And we weren't sure how high they would get. But somehow they reached the top, and so it's a credit to the great kids in our program and the work that they put in, and they're coachable, they're unselfish, they're extremely good at their roles, and that's what gave us an opportunity today. They executed their roles at a high level. We had guys make plays, make hustle plays, knock down some shots, hit free throws, finish in the paint, defend, all the things you have to do at a high level to win.
It was almost a clean sheet, only 4 fouls that were called.
I guess we play really good defense.
Questions? Mike?
Coach, you got off to a great start. Just talk about being able to play with that lead the whole game.
Definitely, a start is huge. And so when you can get off to that good start, it just builds confidence. It kind of relaxes you a little bit, lets you play maybe a little bit looser instead of tense. And I thought our guys did a good job of that in the first half. Kind of came out in the second half, and they started to hit shots, and they've done that. They're a very good team. They did that in their district final. They did that in their first couple games here at state. So we know they can shoot and play, and we knew they were going to make a run. Similar to our theme for the season, we just had to have a good response and keep our poise and stick to what we do.
Pass.
For any of the players, did you feel loose before the game? Were there any butterflies, jitters, anything like that?
I would say there's a couple jitters, yeah, but overall, just getting the first couple possessions out of the way and just get those initial jitters out, yeah.
Mike, and then
Derek, Andy asked you about it. Tell us about that slam late in the game.
I'm glad. I said it before. I'm glad I didn't get rim stuffed. I'm really glad that did not happen. I wasn't originally gonna do it. I stutter stepped a couple of times, so instead of going up on the right, I thought I'd try it on the left side just for the angle. So it worked out for me.
Adam.
Cooper, Coach was talking about the switch kind of flipping in February. Did you feel that, and what was it that was able to kind of turn the season around and get to this moment?
Yeah, we obviously felt it, and it took a lot of hard effort and work, but it was a team effort. It starts on the defensive end, and that's obviously what got us off to a great start today and built us that lead. And I think that we've bought in, decided that defense is going to be our identity, and that's how we ended up here.
Coach, it seems like this season these 3 guys have kind of been your leaders offensively. How cool was that to see them step up the way they did these 3 games at state?
It's pretty amazing. We met with these 3 guys after a couple games and said, you guys can score the ball, but you have to guard somebody. And we have honest conversations with these guys. We're super hard on them. We hold them to an extremely high standard. And we said, hey, it's great that you guys can score the ball, and you have to do that in basketball to win. But the other half of the game is defense. And they slowly bought into that. And it took some losses, and then it really had their attention. And I think you can see, and they can see the results of their work, of their focus, that they come down here and do an absolute tremendous job on individual players and on teams that can score the basketball. That's credit to their growth, their willingness to learn, to adapt, to be coachable. But their offensive game has never been in question. These guys work hard in the off season. They are super, super skilled basketball players. When we met at the beginning of the season and talked about, what we would like to do, or, how good could we be, the conversation centered on defense, because they have a lot of the other things that you need in basketball. And now that they've bought in, I think they believe it.
Coach, just what does this mean to bring this back for the Ashland-Greenwood community?
It's awesome. I think it's just a credit to the kids in our program. I think I mentioned the standards and the accountability. We are super hard on these kids. January is a brutal month every year for us because of our schedule, and it didn't go great for us this year. And we have to have honest conversations. We have to hold them to a high standard, and when they don't meet that standard, we let them know. And they just did a great job. Sometimes the season is so long that, our theory has been if you can survive January in one piece and then learn from January and improve through February, that'll put you in great shape in the postseason. And I think that's what this group did exactly. In January, we weren't where we wanted to be. They had learned why, and then in that February month, they started to really figure things out, turn it on, and things, it's hard to describe, but they just kind of clicked for them.
Jacob?
Cal, they started kind of collapsing on the driving lanes and the post up there in that third quarter. You guys went scoreless for 5.5 minutes there. How were you able to stretch it back out in the fourth quarter?
I'd say it's off-ball movement and also relying on your teammates to get you the ball. When they go and converge in the gap, you hope that they pass you the ball. Sometimes Derek doesn't, but sometimes he does and gives you the opportunity to score.
Baz?
Cooper, you mentioned on TV just everything you went through to get ready for this season. Can you kind of take us through that journey and how you got here now?
I mean, the initial reaction was, why me? Why is this happening? And why do I have to go through this? But then once you start the process, and obviously now I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm blessed to be here, and I can't thank anyone else except for God. But I think it was an amazing journey and is the reason I'm here. I have full belief that if I didn't go through that, it wouldn't make me who I am today, and it wouldn't make me put in that effort. So it's exactly what I want.
How'd the injury happen?
It was just a benign bone tumor. So it was just a regular doctor's checkup, and then they're like, you gotta go get this checked out by a specialist, and they're like, yeah, your femur could break, so no more activity, and we gotta get surgery.
Had you had any problems with your leg before or felt anything? Or anything?
No, they're surprised. They said, it's never hurt you before, and I said no, and I was kind of mad. I was like, why do I have to get surgery? But, yeah.
Guys, this is for the players, but you guys kind of went through a rough stretch in January. Just talk about what those conversations were to kind of get you guys back on track and get you to this point where you're playing your best basketball at the end of the year.
I would say that there was I think there was a deep reflection for all of us. I think we all just sat back and really looked at I think just personally, I can't speak for these guys, but personally, it was a darker time for me. I just thinking back and just looking back in the game and just questioning things, questioning self-confidence. So just to get out of that and keep our head up, trusting each other's teammates, it was great.
Cal, where was your dad last night officiating, or was he here?
He was at Big 12 tournament. Every year he goes back and forth to watch us.
Okay, so he'll be back down. Is he working tonight's game?
Yeah, he's got a game. Maybe the BYU game, or it's another game. I don't know.
What's that mean to you for him to make that extra effort?
I mean, it's actually amazing. When I was young, it's hard for me. He would really show up to games. I talked to him about it. We went to therapy, and now it's one of my biggest supporters, and I love him.
Yeah.
Cooper, when you look back on this season and think back on this team years, decades from now, what are you going to remember about this team, about this run?
I'm going to remember the bond. I'm going to remember the love and sacrifice that guys put in and how close this team will always be.
Okay, congratulations once again. Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays, Class C1 state champions. 3 times out of 4. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.